Hello there friends, and today we are talking about the big one. Dracus du Plessis versus Chimiaev. The big fight which everyone has their own opinion on, and I definitely have mine. So today we're going to discuss, if I was a gambling man, who would I have my money on? How's the fight going to play out? Who's going to win in what round? And yeah, just the fight in general, the strengths and the weaknesses of each guy, and what I honestly believe my prediction is going to be. And it is probably not what you think it is going to be. So obviously both fantastic fighters, both undefeated in the UFC, which is, you know, extremely impressive. But Chimiaev is fully undefeated in MMA. Dracus du Plessis has been beaten in an MMA fight, and I believe he actually got knocked out in the welterweight division in the early part of his career. So I would predict the gambling odds are actually going to be massively in favour of Chimiaev, because he is, you know, he's been a phenom. He's been blowing through like top-rate fighters and just making it look easy, to be honest with you. I mean, even the ex-champion Robert Whittaker in his last outing, he took him down and submitted him, broke his jaw, I believe, and his teeth in the first round. It just looked like, I mean, it wasn't even a fight. He didn't have one shot landed on him. Extremely impressive. And when Robert and Dracus fought, you know, Dracus lost that first round to Robert Whittaker and then came back to win. But it was definitely a fight. They had a good back and forth, where Chimiaev literally blew through him. And probably for that on its own, even though Dracus is the champion, puts Chimiaev as the favourite. But my own opinion is actually going to be a little bit more controversial, because I think Dracus du Plessis is going to win this fight. And the reason I think he is going to win this fight is this is pure tenacity, and he's got this herky-quirky, offbeat striking style, which I really like. And I think it's going to throw Chimiaev off. And styles makes fights, and I think Dracus is actually a good matchup for Chimiaev, as much as you can be for someone with, you know, his just incredible wrestling ability. I'm not sure we've seen someone wrestle as well as him in the middleweight and welterweight division before. Maybe Georges St. Pierre, but that's sort of where you're having to go back from. And even then, I think he even, you know, wrestles better than GSP, because he just doesn't get touched. In his first few fights, he's fighting sort of UFC caliber guys, didn't get hit. Incredible. I mean, unparalleled really. But I think Dracus is a bad matchup for him. I love his tenacity and how I see this fight playing out. I think it's going to be a bad first round for Dracus du Plessis. I think he's going to be on the receiving end of some wrestling, and yeah, it's not going to go well for him. But I see the fight then building more in his favour, especially in the later rounds. Dracus has proven he can go the distance, as he did with Sean Strickland, and he had more in the tank. And Strickland is known for his cardio. Obviously different fight, more of a striking battle. But yeah, I see Dracus from sort of halfway through round two starting to actually pull ahead, because the way Chimiaev fights is very explosive, very wrestling heavy, and if he doesn't sort of get you out of there and absolutely dominate you, I could see it turning the other way. And I think Dracus is going to take the upset on this. So yeah, I think Dracus is going to win in sort of rounds 3, 4, 5, and I think he could be the first person as well to knock him out, which once again is a bold statement. He could definitely go to a decision as well, but I think Dracus has got what it takes to finish him. And Chimiaev, you know, I think his first 1 or 2 rounds is going to where he's at his absolute most dangerous. But that with that very wrestling heavy attack that he uses, and explosive energy, power, you know, maximal strength, that's going to be harder to maintain that against a big, strong, powerful guy like Dracus, who's proved he can go 5 rounds before, you know, on now multiple occasions. So yeah, it's definitely probably not the popular opinion. I'm guessing a lot of people are going to think Chimiaev's just going to absolutely run through him, and I can understand that argument, because that's what he's done to pretty much everyone else apart from Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. But he still won those fights, and quite convincingly so as well. But those two are the ones that tested him the most so far. But I think Dracus is a naturally bigger, more powerful man than those two, and I think that is going to be a difference in this fight. And yeah, I think just a short will to win from Dracus is going to sort of be a deciding factor in this fight. We saw that against him, the Adesanya. He was, you know, he was losing parts of that fight, and it was sort of going against him. But that will to win just sort of kept on going, and you think he's out of gas, and he just keeps on coming through, and he hit Adesanya with a shot, and next you know, the whole thing changes. So even though Chimiaev has had a much more impressive, you know, UFC career so far, even though Dracus is a champion, which is an incredible thing to say, I think Dracus has got this. Now you can be biased as a fan because I like Dracus. I think he's absolutely hilarious. Not many people can shut up Sean Strickland, but he definitely did that and actually made him cry as well, which making Sean Strickland cry, Mr. Unsensitive, is not an easy feat. So I'll give him some props there for there. So I definitely do want Dracus to win, and that can alter your decision sometime, but I think he can do it. I think he's going to have the upset. He's going to remain the champion and hopefully reign in the middleweight division for quite a while, because I do actually like him, and it's probably down to his fantastic banter. That South African banter is wonderful. But what do you think? Do you think Dracus is going to take the surprise victory as a champion? Not many times, you know, the champion is sort of more the underdog in the cards, which just shows the level Chimiaev is at. And obviously if it's a straight wrestling match, Chimiaev's going to win that all day long. But this isn't just wrestling, this is MMA. There is striking involved, and there is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu involved as well, with a lot of other things. And I think that is what makes a difference, is all the other elements to it. And I just see Dracus using that quirky sort of striking style he's got, and I think he's a better striker than Chimiaev. Even though Chimiaev is a very powerful guy, obviously he can finish people, one shot knockout power, anything can happen, but I think he's a more seasoned, more comfortable striker, and that is going to fare well in the later rounds if we get there. So fingers crossed we make it to this fight, fingers crossed my prediction comes true, and I'm very interested to speak to anyone in the comments to see what they think. So hopefully this doesn't age like milk, we will see. And I very much look forward to this UFC and what happens. Come on Dracus du Plessis, don't let me down, keep you proud, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching guys.